everybody. Happy
Hello.
Sunday.
Hello. Happy Sunday.
How y'all doing this evening? Shoot, I'm
Hope
trying to get
everybody had a good week and a good weekend. We
girl.
got a lot of stuff to bring to you and talk about.
Girl, get ready for Monday. Girl, I just be hating Sunday night.
I'm saying,
Oh my God, I hate it.
don't we all?
Girl, Sundays be killing me. But anyways, I hope everyone had a blessed weekend. Got outside and got set. Well, it was sunny here, so I hope it was sunny where you were. And let's
Windy
get on.
but sunny.
I'm hoping everything. Look, hope the week is nice. Cause yesterday I did have to turn my heat on a little bit. I
I
had
did
turned it off.
too.
I turned it
I
back
think I
on. I'm
did it
like,
this
God.
morning.
Oh, girl, I did it yesterday afternoon. I'm like, it's cold in here. So I went ahead and turned it back on. So we're gonna turn on the heat this Sunday. And let's get to talking about these hot topics. So we're gonna start out. We're gonna get some of the bull crap out the way. We're gonna talk about y'all president and his poll numbers. Also, if you do have any student loans, you know how Joe Biden had everything in deferred. There is, as of May 1st, from what I understand, they will be due. And I think they're going to, from what I understood on the news, you guys might want to look it up, but they're going to say they're kind of like in default for all those months. I said, that makes no sense because Biden had extended it.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys want to go on there to the education thing or whatever,
Department of Education. Mm-hmm.
and you want to try to either do a deferred or do some kind of was that the payment based on your income or something like that, to try to
get in one of those programs.
Yes.
Hi Kevin, thanks for joining us.
Hello. Yes.
Yeah, that's gonna be a mess, honey.
Yes, because even though they didn't fire half of the
even
people.
if you've been, because I'm not really sure what you've had to do with your loans while you're waiting on what Joe Biden was doing with the loans, but hopefully you've already been in something.
Well, they had extended it, so you didn't have to do anything. It was already kind of extended. I mean, yeah.
Well, I still have been doing my thing every year. Like
you didn't have to.
Okay,
ever since COVID, you didn't have to. But now they're saying they're due. So, and they're going to say like they're in default. So, if for the ones who was just floating by or whatever, you need to really look at, especially if people are like trying to in the middle of buying houses or trying to get a loan for anything. You don't want that student loan to come up. Because the reason why I was thinking about it, because my son, he's in the middle of trying to get ready to buy a house. And I'm like, oh, I seen on the news about the student loans. I better get on to it. So, but I don't know how quickly it's going to happen because, they went through and got rid of, a lot of stuff, a lot of the workers, the federal workers. And so who knows, but.
So Kevin asks what happened. I was trying to display his comment, but I can't do it for some reason.
You can't. Only the host.
Oh, okay. Well, look, right. Well, let me know. We were just discussing the student loan issue where they are becoming back due. I think we had borrowers that had their plans deferred. I think waiting for maybe forgiveness, right?
Yes.
Waiting for the forgiveness form under Joe Biden, which the one, even with the forgiveness, listen, first of all, let's be clear. Forgiveness of the loans always existed, right? In certain professions like nursing, like doctors, like teachers. And so that you if you got into that profession and if you followed the guidelines, which generally meant you had to go work in an underprivileged area, and probably like nonprofit, that was one too, because I was trying to get through once I got hired at a nonprofit company. But anyway, so if you work for a nonprofit, like again, that always existed. You could have always applied and went through that. But my point is that forgiveness would be just that, in a sense of, just because you applied, maybe not, maybe doesn't mean that it would be, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, so because there's been some people I know at least two personally that have had their loans forgiven. Now, like I say, the structure of
Well,
work. Mm-hmm.
yeah, but the biggest thing was what people were waiting for, because Joe Biden was going to do 20,000 for everyone who had student
Mm-hmm.
loan, and another 20 if you had the Pell grants.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then certain states start saying, well, if they forgive them, then like my state of Indiana said, well, you're gonna have to pay taxes on it, which they never done that before, because when
Mm-hmm.
everybody got the Me Too, the PPP loan, we didn't have to repay that, or
Mm-hmm.
either we didn't have to repay it and we didn't have to get any kind of had to file taxes on all that.
Mm-hmm.
So here's something, let's get a little politics out the way. Simone Sanders, I enjoy watching her, and they were just talking about some of the poll numbers here, so we give you a little quick something. um Hold on a second, give you a little quick something that we
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it. I got the notification. Thank you.
so we can
Mm-hmm.
it's almost
Uh-oh, what happened? I think you removed yourself from the stage. Well, guys, I guess it's me and you until Angela gets back, until our host gets back. So, well, what I was saying too about the loans is like, hopefully, whoever has gotten those loans forgiven, like, just take that as a blessing, honey, because it looks like everybody else, the loans will be due.
girl, I got kicked out. I don't know
I
what
know,
happened.
but here I
I'm like,
go. Well, it's just me and you, honey.
yes, I'm like, what the world just happened here? But here we go. I'm like, God, dog, girl, just kicked me all the way the heck out.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. But anyways, here goes Simone Sanders. Oh shucks. And we're
point worse than his approval at the 100-day mark of his first term. Now, we like to say about polls, it's just a snapshot in time, but they're indicative of how voters are feeling right now. They're not a crystal ball, but oh goodness, the voters are not feeling confident. Just shy of about 100 days back in office, Donald Trump, he isn't exactly convincing Americans he's up for the job. There's a brand new AP poll, and it finds just 18% of Americans think that he's been a great president so far. 13% say he's good. The same amount rank his performance as poor, and nearly 4 out of 10 say he's a terrible president. His tanking approval ratings come as voters absorb the high cost of his tariffs and witness massive cuts to the federal workforce, not to mention his attacks on the rule of law. According to a Fox poll, just 44% of voters approve of the job that he's doing. And that's the worst approval rating in that poll at this point in a presidency this century. And it's well below the numbers of President Biden's, Obama, and George W. Bush during their first 100 days. It is even 1 point worse than his approval at the 100-day mark of his first term. Now, we like to say about polls, they're just a snapshot in time, but
well, so she's talking about the poll numbers and stuff. And like I said, I can't hardly even watch the news anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I used to watch it all the time, but it's been such a, I don't know. When I seen how they, picked up people and sent them over there to El Salvador, that just kind of, that the way he did it just kind of did something to me. So I was like, oh no, I can't at all.
Part of me is kind of like, I don't want to hear it. Like, I just don't. Like, even with this, and maybe so is drop down in the comments and enlighten me. Do it kindly, but because maybe I don't understand just what this information means to us, because it's kind of like you doing an approval rating on somebody. These people just voted in. Like, I don't want to hear it. Like, if they are, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hear it.
Well,
because
well, I think a lot of, usually once they get finished with one race, they're already looking 2 years ahead for the midterms. And they're, testing water. Yeah. So that's usually most.
Well, I think that at this point, I mean, as long as he don't do anything that changes that part of what we know to be true, he done anyway. Again, why do we even care about his approval rating? Where he going after this? Back home?
Well, they're looking at they care about the approval ratings because of what's going to happen in the midterms. And if his approval ratings were a lot better, and then they would possibly think that maybe they can maintain the House and the Senate and stuff like that.
Okay, all right. Okay, okay. Thank you. See, I understand that, right? Like, because I'm like, be concerned. Like, I don't want to hear it. Like,
girl, it's been crazy. And that's all I can say. It's just crazy. I guess the price of eggs made everybody go out and do that.
They want Barack Obama back in 2028. We wish, honey. Oh, did y'all see that Instagram? Now, I saw that last night. It just made my heart smile. Barack and Michelle Obama were leaving a restaurant. I'm not sure where, but everybody started to give them applause as they were leaving out the restaurant. And I just thought, like, could you imagine? Because it's not even like, I think about this with judges too. Like, could you imagine walking into a room and everybody has to stand? And not just when you get married, but every time, you know what I mean? Like, every time you go, like, that, I don't know, that could go to a person's head. So with that being said, like I say, much not like different than a celebrity, because I know paparazzi follow them everywhere, and people always that. But it's like he just trying to have dinner, date night with Michelle, and honey, he walking out to his car and gets a standing ovation. Like, could you imagine getting a standing ovation everywhere you go? You know what I mean? Like a standing ovation, like, we gonna stop eating, honey, but thank you. Like, and can we have you back?
Like, please. We see the bizarro world. Yes. So since we're talking about the Obamas, let's get into talking about Michelle Obama and her podcast. And she had what's her name?
Tracy Ellis Ross.
She had Tracy Ellis on, and to what's her name? Actress. Oh my God. Taraji. God. And so this one here is with Taraji. Let me get to it. And they're talking about some of the stuff we like talking about. But here we go. Let's see here.
My favorite one, kind of.
You watch a little bit of all of them?
I watch a little bit of all.
So do I, girl.
Love and hip hop. I watch. Oh, I do too.
Oh my God, I'm so happy. Mama D. Oh, child.
Yes, I love it because I know a Mama D.
And them.
Everybody knows. Mama.
Oh, okay, there we go. I'm like, hello.
Where to God? What's your favorite
I
franchise?
don't know what's going on.
My favorite one, kind of.
You watch a little bit of all of them?
I watch a little bit of
all.
So do I, girl. Love and hip hop. I watch. Oh, I do too.
Oh my God, I'm so happy. Mama D. Oh, child.
Yes,
Oh,
I love it
child.
because I know a Mama
Scrappy
D.
and them?
Everybody knows a Mama D.
They sure
right?
do.
If you don't have one in your family, you got a
Then
Mama
you
D.
lying. You are lying. You just not
Come on
recognizing Mama D.
You might be
I
the
have
Mama
a Mama
D.
D in my family. I ain't gonna say who, but
But I'm like that. I tell my husband, I was like, you watch golf,
right.
I watch unscripted.
Yes.
And
Fair
it
trade-off.
brings me, I don't know, it
peace.
just settles me down.
And you get to talk, and I guess the blackness in us, the
Mhm.
call and response, like,
Oh, because we
girl,
was,
no,
I would have said,
I would have,
right.
yep, I would have, should have. If that was me,
You know?
no, like you
Listening
talking
to
to
it while
the
I'm
TV.
taking my
Right,
makeup off.
right.
You're like, girl, oh, I would have. I swear to God.
What
Kevin says, I have a question. Why Love and Hip Hop switch it to MTV? What's going on with VH1? I think it might have been just a merge with the company, because Viacom owns them all anyway.
Yeah.
So I think that was just a merge.
Mm-hmm. You know, I've never watched Love and Hip Hop. Only reason why
Really?
I never
Oh
have.
my God. So
But
let's
only reason
talk
why I
about
know
it. The
is
first
Mama
lady
D.
watched Love and Hip Hop. No, there's nothing wrong with watching Love and Hip
I
Hop, because
know it.
we have been in love with Love and Hip Hop since the beginning. And yeah, Mama D. I agree. Like, it's funny because there's Mama Jones, Nancy Jones, which is Jim Jones' mother, which she is similar to Mama D. However, she didn't really have the same effect as Mama D, because I do think that Mama D, maybe being from Atlanta, maybe there's a twang, there's another thing that does just make her that much more relatable. And as we can see, the first lady even enjoys it. I still watch Love and Hip Hop. I do. I told you I watch a lot of the shows. I still watch Basketball Wives. Some of them I get sick of, but Love and Hip Hop Atlanta really has managed to keep it just going. They kind of, like they talked about on Kirk and Rashida's interview. You know, they did have a little weirdness for a little while where it seemed like something was going on, but they've always had a revolving door, managed to keep it interesting. They've kept their staple people there. Those staple people managed to stay in some mess. And we continue to watch it. I was telling somebody today, like, I think it humanizes people, like, to see other people that, you know, they do live a different life, but yet they still, like, hell, had worse problems than some of us when you, because that dog goes scrappy, honey. Like, Lord. And so, Mama D, what you gonna do with your baby? I guess that's the problem. He like the real life baby boy.
Yeah. The only
Mhm.
reason why I know them is because of social media, really. And Mama D has been on Dr. Heavily Live plenty of times. So I know her character, you know her from watching her on YouTube or whatever. But yeah, I'm like, oh wow. The first lady like watching reality TV. I always say it's my guilty ratchet pleasure.
Yeah, and I say the same, because it is for me too, you know. But like I said, I think the appeal in watching reality TV in general is a layer of getting to see people in some form of natural habitat, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, we like it, you know.
Yeah, so
we like it, and we can relate to some we can relate to some of the characters. I think I agree. Well, Michelle Obama from the South Side of Chicago. Shout out to the South Side of Chicago. So I'ma just say, I think us from that place, we can all relate for sure. You know, like, yeah, I think. And if you think you don't know who the Mama D is, that's what I say. It might be you. Like, you might be the Mama D. If you look around, you like, when I want to, it's probably your butt. Like,
girl, I watched it live with her and Dr. Heavily, and Mama D was so drunk. It was so funny. But she had, it was just funny. And I'm like, oh wow. I bet she is a funny person to be around.
Mhm.
I mean, she was speaking like that auntie that's gonna sit there and tell you the unadulterated truth and tell you about her backstory and everything. I'm like, okay, but I guess I never know which channel to watch it on. That's probably why I've never watched it.
Oh, well, it had, so back to Kevin, that's why he was asking, like, why did they switch it? So now it currently comes on MTV. It started out as a VH1 show. I like I say, I don't think VH1 is even in, I don't think that's a channel anymore. But because most of the show, Basketball Wives, everything has gone over to MTV, and now everything is sitting at MTV. But now, as far as the numbers, I don't know, but I can give you that much. And if you need streaming, I know that you can stream it on Philo. That's where I generally would stream it off of.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
And you can go back and watch all the prior seasons.
Yep.
I might have to do that one time.
And now you can do that on Paramount as well. Paramount just doesn't have the current season.
Okay.
But Philo would have the current season, but Paramount would have everything before.
Okay. So since we're still talking about love in hip hop Atlanta, let's go over and talk about Carlos King interview with Rashida and Kurt.
Now, this was a really good interview. I have got to go back and watch it again because I want to do a video on it myself. Being somebody who had watched Love and Hip Hop Atlanta from its conception, I didn't know who Rashida was. I had no idea. And even when they told me about the music, I was just kind of like,
and I was just listening to her song with Candy, Legs Up to the Moon.
See, I don't even know that, right?
I stumbled across it on was it Apple Music.
Okay, yeah, okay. I'm like, my first introduction to Rashida was on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And then, like you said, from there, of course, they give you the background.
Yes.
But I'm like, I felt like I didn't necessarily know who she was. This interview kind of knocked it all out, even with her and Kurt. I came out of that interview kind of understanding her, them, everything way much more. And I was never the one that was calling her dumb. I wasn't on that type of time. I just wasn't sure. I just wasn't sure what role they play in the marriage being kind of that focal point. It did feel at a certain point like things was being somehow orchestrated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But aside from that, listen, I loved the interview. I thought kudos, like say Carlos, his shows might be falling apart, but he's doing very well in the interview space because I think with his relationships that he has with the people that he interviews, they feel comfortable and safe to talk to him. And he ain't even got to ask them much. You say they both lies. Oh, no. I know Apple Music. These are they both lies talking about Kurt and Rashida. Well, listen, if they both end on the lie, who are we? You know what I mean? Because I guess
it's their storyline, honey. It's their storyline.
Yeah, right. If they both end on it, fine. Because that's really where the problem would come in is if she didn't know, you know what I mean, something he was out doing or whatever. But no, I enjoyed that interview.
Yeah, I had watched it too. Another YouTuber had did a watch along. And that's why I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. And you got a chance to hear the backstory on them. And I've always heard people call her dumb or this, that, and the other. And it kind of gave you, I just figured, hey, she was cool. If she's cool with it, it's cool with me. I can't be madder than the person it's happening to. I'll tell you that. So here's a question that he's asking. Carlos King is asking them about Mendices. I don't even know who this is, but here we go.
Mendices cheating on Yandy.
You
Have
know
you
what?
ever asked that question in Atlanta?
Do you think Mendici cheating on you? Okay. Yeah. Because
First of all,
hell
I
no.
left Atlanta for a reason.
Okay, then. There we go.
Okay.
Sounds like a
Oh,
pretty
okay.
different one for me, baby. Yeah.
You said it out your mouth.
Well, this is what I'm going to
I
say.
never met Mendices, so I don't know
Let
anything.
me tell you this. I want to say something.
Oh no, Kurt.
No.
I want my shit to answer.
What?
You because you said in your interview.
This is what I will say. I've seen things, and that's just that.
Did you
That people have brought to me. Let me say it like that.
Did you ever go to her with the things you've seen?
Mm-mm.
Why not?
Because I don't do stuff like that. Like,
Did say in your confessional that it is rumored that allegedly Mendici has other women. Do you think Mendici is cheating on Yandy?
So then they go through. Here's some of the. I can't even read the stuff. So this is what type of man keeps another man name in his mouth.
That's Mendici's responding to the interview.
Okay. It says if you allow your woman to mention my name, then she can get it too. Okay. Mendices. And then he says, I don't say shit about people, polygamy. Well, polygamy relationships. I can't see the rest of it. Mind my business because I don't give a fuck. Please stop talking about me and mine. So I don't even really know who Yandy is. All I know, she was in my brother's restaurant. So and I kept saying, who is this girl you keep featuring? And he was like, because it was in his story, and he was like, that's Yandy from Love and Hip Hop. I said, I didn't know who she was. So that's that. So who is
Yandy started with, so funny enough, Yandy is like love it, like what Carlos said, love and hip hop, like royalty. She started in New York, the very first show. You know what I mean? Like everything before Atlanta, that. And then Mendices is who she ended up quotation marks marrying, because they never turned in the marriage certificate. So that's where that comes from, about them not being married. They're not married. They're not legally married. Anyway, and that was a storyline. That's why it's like y'all came back with that as if it was news. It's news to them, but it ain't news to nobody else around. So, listen, I feel like the bigger question might be, is there, like in a friendship, is there somebody wrong? Is Rashida wrong? Like how, even with what she said, like, well, I've seen things, and so, people have brought her, and he say, well, did you tell Yandy? And she says, no. Well, should she have said something to Yandy? I kind of would take the stance that maybe not. You know what I mean? Like I think that people do say like, and it don't make you any more a friend necessarily, any less a friend. Not unless you are saying something that is like without a shadow of a doubt, maybe your own. You got proof. I don't know.
I wouldn't get in that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even
No.
with that, I don't know, especially when you're talking about a marriage and stuff, like you just kind of keep it out, stay out of it. You know what I mean? Like, because you don't know what somebody know, what they don't know. And who am I to get in on the other end,
But do you think she should have said what she said on Carlos King's platform? I think I would have just said, I don't know, and left it like that. If I haven't said nothing to her.
So he's right. He asked her because it came on the show that she, in her confessional, she kind of repeated something little similar. So he did right to really just ask to elaborate on that insinuation, Listen, we all say it, when it's smoke, where there's smoke, there's fire, Mendices could be feeling himself. He's short to me, but he is handsome.
He said he's short. How tall is he?
I don't know, but he looks short.
Okay.
And he also looks shorter than her. So, and he looks shorter than her. Now I know she wears heels a lot. But I imagine, and that's funny, maybe I should Google it. I imagine Yandy to almost be about 5'8"ish, about my height. But let me see.
Yeah, so if he's 5'10", she's taller than him in some heels.
That's how you looked it up?
No, I haven't looked it up.
Oh, okay. Let's see if we can even find that information.
Yeah,
but anyhow, so yeah, I just kind of think, but Yandy, so right now on the show, they have went out, Yandy planned a couples trip. And I'm actually about 2 or 3 weeks behind, to be quite honest. But Jasmine is fiddling back around. That's Kirk's baby mama, you know, and then somehow she got a friend who said Mendices be in the club talking to a friend of hers. So she calls herself trying to expose Mendices.
So they got the baby mama. She's on the show too. She's part of the talent. Okay.
Yeah. And so Yandy feels like, well, the only reason why any of this is happening is all going back to Jasmine, right? Because it's your friend, you know what I mean? The XYZ counting these dots. And Rashida, like, I ain't got nothing to do with it. You know, like if they saying, you know, your man doing XYZ, like, then you need to just deal with that. Like, I don't have nothing to do with it. They count themselves on they had a scene where they confronted Yandy. Yandy went off, and now she mad at Rashida because I think she feels like Rashida may have had some type of comment about it that was sideways. So she just feel like Rashida ain't been a good friend to her. And again, more so about like you not telling me something or saying something different to somebody else. But
Are they friends in real life too?
So I feel like they're more like industry friends. And especially with Rashida explaining that in that sense to me on the interview, because again, Mendices and Yandy are from New York. Yeah. They've been in New York until they came to Atlanta a couple years ago. So that's the thing. It's kind of like what VH1 and MTV did. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta merged New York with Atlanta. So they moved to Atlanta, and now that's why they on there. But for all of the time before then, she been in New York. So again, not to say they clearly probably knew of each other, had some type of friendly dealings. But as far as like how she said, well, I didn't get no call when this happened, that happened. I believe that. You know what I mean? I believe that. Because yeah, y'all probably just kind of like say just industry friends. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
but they hang out though too though.
Huh?
I've seen her and Yandy hang out at you know, different things. I know Yandy hangs with.
Well, they have, and so Atlanta got this group of girls, like we were saying, right? And so that's the thing; they got the same group of friends, but I don't, because I've never seen them two.
Okay,
right? You know what I'm saying? Outside of being on the show.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
All right. Since we're talking about dating and everything and husbands, we're going to get into Tracy Ellis's interview with First Lady Michelle Obama, and how these people out here on the internet is trying to compare her situation to Shannon Sharpe, which is ridiculous. So let me go over here.
So ridiculous.
Around not having children and not having a partner, I still wouldn't want the wrong partner.
That's a great point for people to hear.
I'm not interested in that. You have to make my life better. It can't just be, you know, I'm in a relationship to be in a relationship. So even though the grief does emerge and that comes and I hold that, I think of what I've done, and I woke up every morning trying to do my best. I didn't wake up one morning and be like, I'm going to mess this day up.
That's right.
So I must be where I'm supposed to be. And I don't know. Sometimes I think of all of the things I've done, the courage that I've had to have, and what I've had to learn how to navigate as a single person with no one to hide behind.
Yeah.
And it's built a really beautiful experience around me. And I have incredible friends. You know, as much as grief does.
Okay, so there she's grieving about, you know, with the fact that she never had children. Tracy and I are the same age. So she is 52 years old. I think she'll be soon to be 53. And, you know, a woman of her age, not having children, you know, most of us as little girls probably always thought that maybe we might have children, maybe getting married or whatever. And she's saying she grieves that. And then let me go over here. Be fine. Oh, I don't even want to put him up here, but Corey Holcomb and
he's
look
not
at society. Where your son? Who no matter how old.
I mean, we've talked about this often.
So she also talks about how she dates younger men or whatever. So Corey Holcomb decides he's going to chime in, but I really don't want to play him. I just want to play her. Because I can't stand him.
I get it. Because I don't want to hear him either.
Yeah, I can't stand him. But I just didn't understand how they correlated the two. Her and Shannon Sharp. A lot of women date younger men. A lot of men date younger women. But everybody don't have what Shannon Sharp got going on. That's why I didn't understand that at all. So I'll play a little bit of this of her.
And I date younger men. And a lot of it is because...
Let's stop on that, folks.
Oh my God, we had a great dinner. We had a great dinner, by the way, where across the table, your husband goes, but why? And I said, well, maybe because I can.
Yes. This is what I'm saying. Tales from Tracy's.
It's fun. It's very fun to share.
Tracy tale.
But
I'm sorry.
But one of the reasons, though, that because I had to ask myself that question, I was like, what is this about?
Yeah.
Because I want a partner. And so often, and it's not just that I'm older, I'm also very embodied. I am a full, very whole person who knows myself, who is in charge of my life, and who lives a very full, just robust life. So it's not just age, it's like life experience and sort of a difference. But I had to ask myself the question, why? Why does this keep sort of coming up other than they're hot and gorgeous?
There's that.
But a lot of men, I mean, we've talked about this, that often I date younger men. A lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession or whatever those things were, or prize and I have no interest in it, and I will not do it again. A lot of men my age.
Hear that? She said she will not do it again. What are your thoughts on that?
I think I kind of understand. I think I get it. You know, I feel like I was just in a conversation kind of where there was an expectation of your woman to cook every day. And so I'm like, cook every day, you know, like now. And so it's like, well, yeah, if I'm the provider, if I'm the breadwinner. And so it's like, well, so then does she have to go and work? So it's like, well, yeah, we both gonna work. So it's like, but hold on. So why can't we both cook? Like, why, you know what I mean? Like, so I get it. Like, I get it. Because you're talking to a woman who also has not had children. And so that's another idea that she's had to, like, do away with, you know what I mean? Like, and I think some women do, like, even with the getting married and stuff, like, what are you gonna do if it doesn't happen? Like, be somewhere, you know, always trying, like, no, you just gonna go and, you know, live your life and be full. And thank God today we can, because it does feel like a lot of men, you know, in a way, maybe they don't even see it sometimes, but they don't want you to have all, you know what I mean? Like all of the options, you know, that you do. They want you to be, you know, tethered and bound by, you know, like you needing to have a man. But you know, I do think, which I would say that about myself, it might keep you single because that's like men don't want to hear that necessarily. Like it's not appealing. You know what I mean? But
you think them young girls cooking every day?
Well,
no. I don't think they are. But girl, I just seen this one. My face is dropped. Did you know that TD Jakes stepped away from being a senior pastor?
Yes, I saw it earlier today. And listen, I couldn't be happier though, honestly. I mean, I feel like it's a shock, but I am so happy for Sarah Jakes Roberts. Yes, girl, let's give it up. You deserve it. I am so happy for her. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But yes, I did see it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he's stepping away. So who's going to be the pastor?
Sarah Jakes.
Is that his daughter?
Yes, her and her husband. Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that the one they were saying had an adopted daughter or something to that? Or took somebody's daughter? It's some kind of scandal that they were saying.
It might be the sister.
No, it was his daughter. But I don't know if he got
her sister. It might
be
her
sister. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
I don't think it's her. Sarah Jakes Roberts, her story is a kind of goes back to her being a teenage mom in the church. So she had her first child at I believe like 13.
Wow. That's a testimony.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like she, you know, her story kind of goes back there. Then she got married. That didn't last very long, and I think it wasn't like a great marriage. And so then she got into like ministry, like
okay, well, good. So
I like her a lot. I actually, as a matter of fact, I've been wanting to do a book club forever. And this is not even her newest book because the newest book that she had was Power Moves, but I have the one before that, which is about all the women in the Bible. It's
okay.
Yeah. So listen, if we want to get something like that together, we can, but I can't even think of the name of it now because I done got that other one. But yeah, I love Sarah Jakes Roberts. I think she is beautiful, wonderful. She preaches well. I've seen her in doing one of her tours for What's Up Woman Evolve. Like, I love it. Oh, that's the book, Woman Evolve.
Okay, Woman Evolved. Okay.
That's the book. But yeah.
All right. So let's get on to, since we talking about Tracy Ellis and her dating younger men. We got good old Shannon here with Shay Shay. And I don't know. This is ridiculous. The whole thing is stupid to me.
But Michelle thought it was stupid too and came out with her own lawsuit after all of this shit hit the fan.
You said whom?
His Michelle, the one that he was on.
I know. I think she had her lawsuit, and before the hers was actually going on before the Supreme Court in New York. Before
I thought it was after. Okay,
no, it was before. Yes, that case is being heard before the Supreme Court in New York. I guess because he the so-called Instagram live that he didn't intend to go live on. And I guess they're having sex or whatever, and it was caught on live. And he said he did it on accident, but all the things we got to go through to go live. So, but here's
what you say: you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Yes. So here,
introducing Shannon Sharp. Okay, like you clown, like on the cups of $100 million deal, like you clown.
Girl, what I put up there, danger. His whole dang on empire is falling down. But here, I gotta go to this other thing. I can't read it from here. But this is Michelle Bundy Evans. He says that she was obsessed with him and she's on probation or whatever. But this is the woman that was supposed to have been on the
well, when you whisper, "Oh my Michelle" in her ear, how could she not be, huh?
Exactly. Stop playing mind game with these women. and you wouldn't have all this. So,
right? Yeah. What you whispering that for? Huh?
Girl, he liked them, honey. So let me go ahead and read it.
I could have went my whole life without ever hearing that.
It went it pretty quick.
I could have went I don't know. Listen, I could have went my entire life without ever hearing that.
So here's Michelle, and they said sports was okay. Shannon's legal team has decided to formally respond to the latest accuser, Michelle Bundy Evans, claimed that she's obsessed and spent time in prison for allegedly trying to offer her husband in order to pursue Shannon. Now, if this woman tried to offer her husband to see him, why in the world is he messing around with this woman?
He up here looking like the Black Pee Wee Herman.
Girl, ain't he? So I don't know, girl. So then
look, that ain't had nothing to do with nothing, but that's all I see now when I see him. It's like, you little Pee Wee Herman.
Girl,
that's what I think is going on. You was trying
to pervert.
Because you got a small pee.
Girl, allegedly. I don't know.
Why you got your clothes small?
Girl, I don't know when they were trying to say he was the other way too. So I don't know. He's getting it each way. But then he had to step away from ESPN. So he temporarily stepping away, and I believe he's probably not ever coming back. What do you think?
I mean, I guess it would just depend on however way this go. Listen, the thing about what the business that he's in the boys club. So all this has to do is blow over, and he'll get back to whatever it is he was doing before. As long as nothing, you know what I mean, like criminally or anything like that happens to him. And that's just that. It'll be business as usual. But at the end of the day, he's gross. I thought that he because like I told you earlier, I thought that he was a gentleman, and I thought actually that he was smarter than that. Not because I assumed it, but because I heard it out his own mouth about how he doesn't go on elevators with single women alone, and how he steps out the room if women's service come to, clean his room. He steps out while they do that. This sounds like somebody who's very conscious of optics. Like not even, like getting all, technical and stuff, but you conscious of that. That's why you take your tail out the room. You know what I'm saying? Because what you're saying is you don't want to be in the room, her in the room, and then she come out with her story and it's something else.
Yes. But my thing here, I guess, the root of all evil is money. But because I guess this thing's supposed to happen in October of 2024, the two dates that she says that she said no, and he did not stop, and one in January of 2025. And they've been in the messing around since I think 2022 or something like that, or 2023. This stuff is still, pretty new. Why don't you take it on to pursue him criminally?
Well, it doesn't sound like she can.
Why not?
Even with the text messages, like this is, and that's like for me.
Why is he? This is still. I mean, this only been a couple months ago.
It doesn't sound like. It's kind of like it's this problem with that are in general, even when it is like a true thing. You got so much that you are not able to prove, right? And so at the time in which you are complacent of certain things, and then you saying something else kind of took place without being able to, it seems like this is what they up against, right? And so that's what I'm saying.
Because usually people go to criminal court first, and then they sue civilly.
If they can't do anything criminally, they will sue civilly.
But I don't think she went the criminal way first.
Do you think? I don't know. If it seems to me that she can't, because I would think that if you went somewhere civilly,
people have been accused. people been accused of the R word, and they went down there criminally and accused these people. And shoot, then they had to go through, you got to get your evidence. And he got
I feel like, I feel like Diddy, I feel like that was similar. I feel like it was something that fell through with something he was supposed to do with Cassie. And then everything else came. I think
I'm not talking about Diddy. I'm talking
No, I know, but I'm saying I think there is something to it's gotta be about the proving it or something.
Yeah, but you usually
about where these people do go to them civilly, and I guess out of whatever information comes civilly, then you go criminally.
No. You go because you can't. Okay, like right now, if you're being tried at one thing, you can't do two things simultaneously, right? So he cannot be tried criminally and civilly at the same time. But usually most people will go criminally first because they want a conviction. I mean, if somebody did that to me, I want this person off the street, period.
But if you go and because they're not just going to charge him because you said so. So if they come back
for less.
Huh?
People have been charged.
I'm not saying that they haven't. I'm just saying in general. I mean, you do know. When you say people been charged for less, I ain't really sure who you might be talking about and what you might be talking about. But I'm saying in this case, I mean, I think that's with anything. You just think about a regular case. Even if it wasn't these people involved, a regular case, they find it hard to charge other people because of the lack of evidence that they have about it. That's the issue. That's a huge issue with this.
Usually
probably the biggest issue.
But but you would usually do a criminal complaint and then
I don't disagree with maybe that should have happened first. But then that's what I mean. There's this issue of, which is why his defense is about her age and about the consent, because you have this issue of you're into this stuff that in some way crosses lines for people. But then when you
go ahead.
How does it? I mean, because I'm not trying to victim blame or shame or anything like that, but I'm saying it's a blurred line. How do you prove this? It's hard to.
Well, she's supposed to have
when you participating in activities that mimic something horrific in a sense.
Yes. So she's supposed to have that, let him tell it, a doctored sex tape or whatever. And that I guess he thought the attorney Busby was going to drop or whatever. And that was, I think he said it's edited down to however long, but it's actually should be 10 minutes long. And I think it is video, the way they role play or whatever. Whatever she's accusing him of is supposed to be displayed in this video or whatever. So I was just thinking to myself, when all this stuff come about, they had already been trying to mediate beforehand, and I don't know. The offer was for 10 million. I think that was on the table.
Have you heard those recordings? This doesn't even sound like a real conversation. What is going on here? It's this whole situation is weird.
It's weird. I think somebody seen the payday coming. That's what I think. I mean, it just seems I don't know, but it seems like
somebody saw the payday coming, and Black Pee Wee Herman fell for the okie doke.
Exactly, because if he should have went by his own rules.
What it is. Slipped on a banana peel, honey, and fell for the yoke. And the phone conversations is who even talk like that?
Somebody was like, "Is this AI or what?"
Right? Who even talk like that? conversation or not? Like, what is going on?
Have you seen the complaint? I watched the lady. They went over the whole criminal complaint, and
Thanks,
she talked.
I just wanted to give a shout out. Go ahead.
And she, in the criminal complaint, she talks about where they first supposed to have met at the gym, and he really pursued her. She wasn't interested, and finally he wore her down, and she gave him her number. But the first meeting or encounter they had, she went over to his house. He opens the door and didn't say a word to her. He walks up the stairs. She said she didn't know what to do, so she followed him up the stairs. The man you don't know, he ain't take you out to dinner or nothing. You go into his house, and he goes upstairs, and you follow behind him upstairs. So then he goes and lay on the bed, is what she said, and he still didn't speak to her. Then finally they started fooling around, and then he told her, well, he knew he always was going to F her. And that's part of her complaint. I go, lady, if I'm first meeting a guy or if he's interested in me, I'm not going to his house first. We're going to meet somewhere public and maybe go on a date. But I'm definitely, if he opens the door and don't speak to me, why would I follow this man up the stairs?
I feel like you coming from a vantage point of what dating would look like for you.
Girl, if a man don't speak to me and I come to his house, it ain't no date.
Well, I think with celebrity, I feel like that's different. I think celebrities can get women to come to their room, to their house, to wherever they want.
What's up. But a celebrity should at least speak. She said the man didn't speak to her. Period. He opened the door. It sounds like she came there.
So if they are only, but you're not giving cadence to if they on OnlyFans, if they on on some type of thing, doing
that's
whatever.
That was it must have been role play already going.
That's my point. You know what I'm saying? You didn't just pop up at the man's house just out the clear blue sky, and the man, opened the door and didn't talk. He invited you over. You know what I'm saying? So there had to be something going on that led up to that. Like I say, it's just weird. It's just weird. Because when those phone conversations is ridiculous. Like I said, who talks like that?
So when they put out the court documents or whatever, if he would have never said her name, people wouldn't have known that she was OnlyFans. So she was coming from a vantage point of us not knowing. So then once we figured out this lady was supposed to be an OnlyFans person and does whatever, then we go, okay, she went over there. This was a call, a service call. To me, it seems like.
It seemed that way.
Yes. So
so for me, the problem is she not the problem. It's you with this young girl.
Exactly.
I just don't know why it is you doing that with that type of, person. And again, going back to where we are today with men, women, these relationships and everything, if we haven't learned anything, what we learned is there is a power dynamic and he is over, in control of it, which is probably to help his ego because clearly it's something that he needs. He could very easily date someone that is his wage, as he stated, or somewhere close to it. Why are you on OnlyFans, foddering and trotting OnlyFans, for somebody? You get what you give. Like you said,
exactly.
You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Now here you are in a lawsuit with your OnlyFans model that you decided to hit up for some BDSM play, and now, bam.
Oh my goodness.
Here we are.
It's the craziest thing because I'm thinking
you making sure you don't get on elevators with women, and here we are.
And all along they thought it was his stylist that he was with. Uncle Shay Shay. Uncle Shay Shay. Do
go
better.
sit your ass down. Okay.
Look,
you need.
He gonna learn today. He gonna learn
This
today.
is my favorite little line. Well, I got a lot of lines from What's Love Got to Do with It, but when Tina Turner go to the beauty shop when she first get her hair blonde, and it all start coming out, she say, "Now you know you an ass whooping."
He do.
That's him.
He do. But she said some people keep saying she's 19 and an adult, but as Judge Judy would say, she's not fully cooked.
Thank you. Well, say it again. Say it again for the people in the back. You know, like you look crazy. 60-year-old man, like you look crazy.
Girl, he gonna say, I ain't 60, I'm 50, whatever. But
well, whatever the case is, you closer to that than you is to this girl age. How about that?
And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I never forget. I used to watch TGIF, and Claudia used to try to get him, you know, to see if he would say something to her or whatever. And then I thought she said one time she thought that he had blocked her because she was trying to figure out like what's going on with Shannon Sharp. You know, because she was like, oh, he's a handsome guy and this and that and the other. I said, but all along, he liked them other kind of women.
Well,
he said he wanted to date his ways.
You know what it is? Part of that is he wants a woman that he can dominate. Period. Like, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe it's financially, maybe it's sexually, maybe it's all of the above. You know what I mean? Like, and I wish people would tell the truth. You know what I mean about it? You know, like, because that's the reason why you not dating somebody your wage. Because you act like you can't find nobody your wage. But it's plenty of people your wage and they single too.
Girl, yes. We outnumber men like it.
You just ain't finna choke them while y'all have this thing. That's just not like you just ain't finna do that.
No,
you just ain't finna pull the whip out and do. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we just not doing that. I'm not finna put no strap. Like, we not doing that. We're not doing no pegging. We're not doing none of that. See, that's the problem. Yeah. And so that be the truth when they get with some man. And that's what's crazy when they talk about because it ain't a man walking around talking about he's single is really kind of hilarious. I had another word but yeah, it's really kind of comical, I guess, because if women outnumber men, how, Sway?
Exactly. You got your pick of the litter, and you can go with any woman. You know what I'm saying? Because most times if a black woman step out and date somebody outside their race, they kind of get the look. But black men, they can date anybody, and people just keep pushing, don't even say nothing. So you got your pick of the litter of women from all races, and then you decide to pick this little girl who looks like a little girl.
Who look like one, because that's the grossest of it all. Now, if she was walking around looking like Angela, right?
Girl, slew footed off.
Angela just caught a stray, honey.
Girl, yes, she did.
But if she was walking around looking like Angela,
girl, I gotta get that
understand it, right? Like, oh, okay, she look mature for her age. This girl look younger than she actually is. Like,
yes, she do.
What's really going on here? That was my first thought. Like, oh, okay, what's really going on now? You know what I mean? Because again, some stuff it is what it is. Cool. Like even with the whole let's say sex play, S play, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's a difference. There is a difference. If you talk about somebody choking you, then that's not somebody putting their hand around your neck, and that's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you one thing. Choke me, honey.
Girl. And then I'm like, okay, so usually when people do, but usually some people, when they do that kind of, have that kind of kinky sex, they usually have safe words that they use,
If you need a safe word, we have gone too far.
Pineapples.
I'm just saying.
Pineapples.
If you need a safe word, we have gone too far.
But you know what? I've always heard, not always heard, but I've heard in certain conversations, like when some men choose to date or to mess around with women that are not like us, they said because most time Black women are too conservative in the bed.
Yeah.
So maybe
what else I say? Because that don't get me to talking. Because don't tell her you gonna tell the story, tell it all. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you gonna tell the story, tell it all. Because what you got to know after they say that is, well, what exactly would that be? Because let me tell you, it ain't just head.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I feel like anything you want to do to me, I can do to you.
Truth, you know what I'm saying about it,
Uh-huh.
And even with that being said, because with that being said, that's those types of things. It probably is a little more acceptable than some of this other craziness going. You know what I'm saying? You need your your little pee massage or something or whatever, like that's anatomy.
Yeah.
What would be wrong with that? You get what I'm saying?
Girl, that was over there playing slave master and slave. Why they using their whips and chains and balls and all.
He need his tail kicked. That's what he needs.
Girl,
tail kicked.
He walk like he got arthritis. Don't he walk bad?
And that's probably it too. Like she don't know what she anyway, so he ain't got to. So you know what I'm saying?
I don't know, girl.
Probably turn around if something don't happen. He probably turn around and blame it on her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you see, you didn't do it right, or I can't with him.
Yeah. So she should have been doing it right. She the OnlyFans model now. I don't know if she's doing on OnlyFans, but I don't know. But he has
probably some of the same. That's probably how he found her.
But according to her, she said they met at the gym, and she didn't even know who he was.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways,
girl, you can look at him and figure out he probably somebody.
Yeah. I don't know. Would you have? I mean,
he's just extreme. Like if
I saw him in the gym, if I'm 19 years old, I don't know. I would thought he was somebody's daddy.
I feel like it's his size for me. And then I feel like, because I feel like I've seen athletes that I didn't know, but I kind of was like, well, you big enough, like you got to be somebody. You know what I mean? Like shit, I don't like. You ain't just walking around here. You know what I mean? Like, but my son is 6'6", so somebody might think that about him somewhere. You know, like doing here, and he not either. But I don't know. I feel like that he's a person who you would think, or I don't know.
Maybe I don't know. I'm just thinking from a 19-year-old perspective, and somebody who is totally far removed from him. I don't even remember him playing football, to be honest.
Well, I don't either. I'm not a football fan, so I never would have. All I did ever cheer for was the Chicago Bears to this day. So if I know any football players outside of big names like Peyton and you know what I'm saying, Eli Manning, or is that right? Them. You see how I got that confused? But any other person, it would be a bear. You know, like
Did you know Refrigerator Perry?
Well, yes, right. That's what I'm saying. I would know those people. Yeah.
Yeah. Girl, we was all singing that shuffling song when I was in 8th grade.
Yeah. Right. I mean,
when
honey,
they won the Super Bowl.
One sense either, child.
We are the best shuffling crew. Shuffling on down.
Don't remind me, dog. But that was what's up. Walter Payton.
Yes. My brother got a chance to meet him. But yeah, because my brother went to Jackson State, and that was his my other brother. But yeah, so I'm getting ready. Look, I got to get ready to get off of here, but I did want to talk about the movie I'm going to see. I'm going to see Sinners, and if you guys get a chance, it looks like it's going to be a very good movie. There's a clip here I do have. It's supposed to be about vampires and some other stuff, but
other stuff, huh?
Yeah, history and everything, girl. I don't know. I've heard nothing but great reviews for it. So let me get over here and figure out what the heck I did. Okay, here we go. Add to the screen. But here we go. If I can hear it. Can you hear it?
Do polite now, would it, Miss Annie? I don't know why I'm talking to you anyway. Smoke.
Don't talk to him. You're talking to me right now. Why you can't just walk your big ass up in here without an invite, huh? Go ahead. Admit to it.
Admit to what?
That you dead.
So you listening to this? Now we out here playing games, telling ghost stories in place of doing what we ought to do.
And what is it we supposed to be doing?
Being kind to one another and being polite. Now we is one people, and we shouldn't go in barging into other folks' places uninvited. So you've been in and out of here all day. Ain't never need an invite then. Yeah, something ain't adding up. Can I at least get my money?
Careful.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. KN say she saw it. She say it's a great movie. Refreshing, original take, and the dance numbers are wonderful. Okay. Ryan Coogler did his thing. Okay, well, we can't wait to hear about it from you.
Because I want to go and see it. Because look, my mother just was calling me. Her butt's scary. She's like, is it going to be real scary?
Well, funny enough, it is a little dark, but and see, that's I'm older now, and I've gone to movies, but I don't do it as often as I used to, because I don't go to sleep in that thing. And
girl, if it don't get going real quick, girl, what's the last movie I went to go see? Color Purple, the new one. And girl, honey, I was sitting, eyes was crossed and everything else. Especially if I go and I'm cold, I'm about to go to sleep. And I tried. What other movie I went to see? I took my grandkids to go see I think it was called Woman King or something like that. Girl, I went to sleep on that.
Oh Lord,
girl, I went to sleep on Wakanda, whatever the heck that is, girl. So hopefully I won't go to sleep on that.
Well, let's hope not. Here's hoping.
Girl, but
here's hoping we can actually get a review.
Yes, I'm gonna be up there taking notes. But I heard it was a very good movie, and
excuse me,
I am so looking forward to it. And as we see that it's grossed over $161 million globally. So shout out to what's his name? Ryan Coogler?
Ryan Coogler, yeah.
Okay, he's the same one who did Creed. So you notice Michael B. Jordan was in that too. So they say Michael B. Jordan plays two people in there. He does the scene when he's fighting himself.
Okay.
They say he's working his ass off, girl. So he was acting, honey. Yes, honey, he was working it. So, girl, I'm about to go and see this, and I'm gonna come back home and watch Roa tonight.
All right. And we'll be on tomorrow night for Roa at 8:00? 8:00.
Yes, 8:00 will be fine with me.
8:00. You see, I'm getting sleepy.
Girl, I see it. And I'm gonna be over here sleepy as I don't know what, because I gotta get up at 5:30 still.
Oh Lord.
Girl, I know it. But yes, I wanted to see this though tonight. So you guys have a great Sunday. And we'll see y'all tomorrow so we can talk about them ladies that's holding them pictures down there.
Right. Okay. See what's going on when Drew pop up on the thing.
Girl. And what they talking about out there around that pool, it got Angela upset. I think Angela's going to be she's going to be the pot stirrer, I believe.
Yeah.
She's going to be collecting this. I feel like Angela the only one working. Drew put in a little work last week.
Drew going to try to work, but Angela clocked in.
She clocked in, so I want to see.
And I guess Britt clocking in too, so we're going to see, huh?
Yeah. I wonder what the hell Phaedra going to do in here.
Nothing.
You see Apollo didn't look, I didn't even talk about it. But you see Apollo and got up there and was talking about Phaedra.
I did. I saw here I go. He must be trying to get back with his wife because that's what
I think so. Yeah, that's what that is right there. Yeah. I didn't try it out there with the other chicken. We done. I want to come back now.
Exactly. Hold on.
So yeah, Apollo is trying to make his way back, spin the block with his wife, and hopefully not go to divorce. But I thought they were separated but living in the same household. So she probably told him, you better get on there and do an apology online and talk about Phaedra too. But even Dr. Heavenly said that some of the things that Phaedra had said, she didn't believe that Shireen had heard. They said, because a lot of times Phaedra would speak low, but they have her mic turned up. And that's why we heard some of the conversations. And Apollo actually said that he knows good and dang on well that Phaedra would never talk to Shireen that way. And that Shireen was not a side piece. But we saw it. We saw it on Roa. She came there happily over there to, what was that? Blaze or Old Lady Gang, one of them dang on restaurants, to try to show up and put Phaedra on blast. What was that? Phaedra's last season, I believe it was.
Well, I'm watching season 9 right now.
Girl, I've been watching season 5. I've been watching season 5.
Deep dive. I'm gonna go back and do some deep dive videos to.
Girl, I've been watching season 5 so I can go back to why I don't like Kenya.
Remind yourself.
Yes, I mean, I like YouTube Kenya, but Roa Kenya season 5, I couldn't stand.
Right.
I could not stand her at all.
Right. I ain't never been able to stand her except for this one, which the irony is that she's not on the show no more. But
I guess you kind of felt a little sorry, but I said this bitch is delusional how she was doing Walter. I'm like,
oh my God, girl, that's what, like I said to everybody, y'all mad talking about we didn't get to see her get married. Like, well, we got the blueprint. We know exactly what happened when her and Mark got out there on that island. Like, she
made that man. He said, shoot, she got
right. Talking about her daddy wasn't there, none of her family. Like, again, we know exactly what happened when she got his ass out there on that island.
Because she hadn't even met his family when she got to the reunion.
Exactly. Because if Walter would have told her that he would marry her, she would have.
They would have got married in Anguilla. I said, oh my goodness. But I feel like it's mighty funny because then she tried to insinuate since their relationship fell apart, like he was gay or something.
Yeah, she did.
I'm like, girl, but the part that really got me rewatching it, and when I watched it at first, is when he told her he tried to talk to Candy, and Candy, wasn't feeling it. And I'm thinking to myself, she probably said, I think I look better than her. And this man ain't feeling me.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I'm like, oh, girl, but it was that season 5. I said, this is why I don't like Kenya. Now, like I say, YouTube Kenya, she cool with me. That season 5 all the way up, I couldn't stand her.
Yeah, for sure.
I said, oh my goodness. But I had to remind myself because I got the feelings too sorry for her ass. I'm like, let's go back to season 5 and watch it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna do season. I'm doing season 9 now, and I'm gonna get a video, probably maybe 2 or 3. I might break it up, and then I'm gonna go do season 7 because that I feel like was it. I used to call it the worst season, even though I'm putting I think 13 and 14 in that group.
You mean,
but
14,
that
14,
season
15.
was really kind of weird and funny at the same time with what's Demetria and the Roger Bob and
what was Phaedra doing her like that?
Right, yeah, exactly. So I want to go back and go and rehash that again.
Is it the same year that Claudia was on there too with the tight bun?
Yes, that was the same year Claudia was on there.
But yeah, girl, let me get off this phone. So the movie started at 9:50 and I gotta go pick up my mom.
All
right.
Thank y'all for joining us. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channels at Brandi Jenae and at Word
on the Curb. Hey, see y'all later. Have a great Sunday. Bye-bye.